howdy y'all, grab yourself a drink, it is time for some Path of Exile discussion. Patch 3.20.1 is going to be coming out in the next week, and it's going to have a number of changes to the way that the Sanctum content works. Now, this is not a lot of the changes that I've been looking for, which is something that gets us away from this meta, where the correct way to do the Sanctum is to do damage by proxy, and to do explosive amounts of damage by proxy, and ideally to be freezing as well. This is the reason that freezing pulse totems are doing so well in this league, and it's why people are making so much currency corrupting Crimson Jewels in order to chase that juicy Rain of Splinters corruption-only unique jewel. Although there's some things here that are pretty interesting if you are one of the players who is already doing very well at the Sanctum. So we are going to see the introduction of unique relics. I think that the idea of these as unique relics is a little bit misleading, and you should think of these more as scarabs that modify your Sanctum. These will go into your relic altar, and as a result, they're going to mean that you will have less access to relics than you normally would. They're also going to have a very severe downside on your run. These are essentially running your next Sanctum on hard mode. In exchange for that, you will receive a whole bunch of extra rewards. So the Gilded Chalice is one of these. This can drop from beating the final boss of the 4th floor of the Sanctum, and the Herald of the Scourge will drop an additional invocation if you run a full Sanctum with this. However, you cannot have inspiration, you cannot recover resolve. And this item is destroyed when your Sanctum ends afterwards, which is why I think that these should be compared to scarabs. If you do run one of these and you get one of your invocations, one of the best possible outcomes you could get is Lycia's invocation of Magebane. This adds Magebane to a sanctified relic. Now note that this invocation is tradable, and that's going to mean that these will be phenomenally valuable, and it is a strong incentive to roll a character that is capable of doing the Sanctum on these ultra hard modes, even if you do occasionally fail one. The Hour of Divinity is the next one of these relics that I wanted to point out. Here, the Herald of the Scourge will drop 2 additional sanctified relics, so that's a pretty powerful reward, but the drawback is that you cannot have boons for the entire Sanctum run. If you would gain a boon, instead you gain nothing. And again, this item is destroyed when your Sanctum ends, because this is a scarab in disguise as a unique item. The Second Sacrament is another one that's been spoiled. The Herald of the Scourge will drop the Balance of Terror with an additional modifier. So the Balance of Terror is the unique jewel that has a number of mechanics that relate to if you have cast a curse in the last 10 seconds, you will get a specific bonus. In a lot of ways, it's somewhat like a Watcher's Eye, and it's a really, really interesting and powerful item. There's a number of really strong ones. However, the Herald of the Scourge deals 100% more damage and takes 70% less damage, so the fight is going to be a lot harder. And again, the item is destroyed when your Sanctum ends, because this is a scarab in disguise. And finally, the Night Lamp causes the Herald of the Scourge to drop 2 additional sanctified relics, but rooms are unknown on the Sanctum map, so you have no way of planning your way through the Sanctum, you just have to take whatever you get. And again, this item is destroyed when your Sanctum ends, because it is a scarab in disguise. A couple of other things that'll be in 3.20.1, if not before. There is going to be a fix to the bug that's going on at the moment where offerings of the goddess are not spawning in their intended way. Currently, Labyrinth Trials are not spawning in maps unless there is a mechanic that is forcing them to spawn, such as a Kirak mission or various other mechanics like improved Labyrinth Trial crafts. Currently, players are getting their offerings to the goddess from Ritual, from Delve, and from a couple of other places. I pulled mine out of a Ritual reward tab. So this bug will be fixed, and there'll probably be a number of other little changes. The real thing I want to see in 3.20.1 is something that changes the mechanics of the Sanctum in a way such that there is less of an incentive to deal damage via proxy. And really, I think that if your player deals damage, you should become temporarily immune to resolve loss that's caused by monster auto attacks. By things that aren't telegraphed, you should gain a temporary immunity to that, and this should be longer if the source of the damage was a melee attack. That'd be the thing that I think is most important in order to improve the Sanctum mechanic. I really like the mechanic. I think it's one of the most fun things that GGG have put together, but the way that it is crippling build diversity is something that really needs to be addressed and can't wait until week 3 of the league. Anyways, that's all I've got for now. May your Valobs have interesting results, and I will see you around. I'm going to start putting together a series looking at the new Atlas tree and looking at the support for various mechanics on it.